Better, better. Yes, Sujeet. So, this is your first attempt?
No, sir, third attempt.
Third attempt.
Yes, sir.
And your educational background is artificial. What you have done basically?
Sir,
What
I
is the
have
degree?
graduated in information technology.
So it is not written like that. You have written artificial intelligence and information system and security.
Sir, there was subject, so I thought that I have.
Okay, it's all right. It's all right. It doesn't make any difference.
But degree is BE.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, before really going into the depth of the situation, tell me, when you are jogging,
Yes.
which part of your foot should fall first on the ground?
Sir, knee.
Knee,
Sir, toe.
toe, or heel, or flat part? Which is the preferable part which should fall on the ground when you are jogging?
Sir,
While running, that is okay. That's
Yes,
the front part, toes.
yes, sir.
But while jogging, which part? Heel or the middle one?
Sir, middle one. If I jog a little faster, then it's a toe. When we walk, then the full fit.
Why
falls
don't
on-
we put heel first?
Sir, we will lose the balance.
Why? When you are having fast walk in Olympics, do you know? You remember that there's the first heel is put on the ground. When they walk like this, might have seen, and they are having fast walking.
Sir, I am not aware about.
Okay, that's all right. Now, secondly, you have written as your extracurricular activity, taking up online course.
Yes, sir.
What does it mean?
Sir, any kind of educational videos I take from the online sources like Brunal sir website.
Yeah, but there is a ulta thing, Here you are saying taking up online courses.
Yes, sir. I also take course on Coursera
Hmm.
on different subject. Like my subject is information technology, so there are various new technology. I take courses on that.
Which software do you use to prepare your videos?
Sir, I listen to the videos.
You
Then
don't
I-
make your own videos.
No, sir. Currently, I don't do.
But so how come it is your hobby then?
Sir, I take up the online courses. Means I learn from online courses. I
No, but
don't
that cannot be hobby. That is that you might be considering for yourself as a requirement.
Yes.
So how can it become a hobby? So throughout your life you will continue learning from online courses.
Sir, I will learn some of the new technology or something new which is curious. So it's about learning new thing.
So taking up online courses will be lasting forever, and this you call your hobby.
Yes, sir. It would be one of the hobby. Yeah, definitely.
Any other hobby which you have other than these two?
So no, particularly during the preparation stage, I followed these two regularly. So I have written this two.
Do jogging for how many kilometers every day?
5 kilometer.
And what is the recovery time? What do you call a recovery time in jogging?
So maybe 5 to 10 minute walking.
No, what is the recovery time? What does it mean?
The body come to a normal state.
Normal state from what? From which state?
The heartbeat goes up when we jog, so the normal heart rate. So that recovery time is maybe 5 to 10 minutes, because I some of the times run fast, some of the times run slow. Generally 5 to 10 minutes is good. for
Okay.
me.
Now let us talk something about ethics.
Yes.
What is the difference between ethics and laws?
So laws are made by the sovereign body, which are enforced. Ethics generally are followed as on a society whole, but that are not enforced. That is followed by individual, and they are moral sanctioned by the society if one does not follow the ethics.
But then who makes these ethics? Who prepares these ethics? Where are these ethics written?
So we, through our grow up from our individual perspective or from social perspective, so we follow certain norms. That we see.
How do we arrive at those norms?
So through social discussion, through family discussion.
No, how can you decide for the society by having family discussion?
So on family level, for family ethics, there can be family discussion. On social level, there would be social discussion. So we arrive.
Can you give me an example where you have arrived at certain ethics by having your family discussions?
So we respect all, no
So
matter.
that is the simple principle of morals. That is the first moral which is taught.
Yes, sir.
Respect the elders, respect your parents, respect the person who is suffering.
Yes, sir.
You know, what is wrong, what is right. That is the principle of morals. So, how do you arrive at ethics from this? What is ethics basically? Just tell me what is ethics.
So ethics means that there is social do's and don'ts. That
Ethics are do's and don'ts.
they are the social standard that that decide that certain actions should be performed or certain actions should not be performed.
That is morals.
So on when there is an individual decision, then it is called morals. When the society decide, it is called.
Generally, it is said that vices are always ready to attack virtues. What is this whole thing, the whole concept, and what it is known as? You are sure about it that virtues are always attacked by, and they are always susceptible to attack by vices. What does it mean?
So there are always temptation to do with shortcuts, and the virtue require perseverance, patience, hard work, sometimes personal loss. So there is always individual preference towards following the shortcuts and immediate gratification. So this is the vices attack the virtues.
So generally, when we are talking about these things, they become very critical for a civil servant, right? For a civil servant, suppose you become secretary of a department. When you grow senior, you become secretary of the department. How will you use these ethical principles? Where will you use these ethical principles? What can be the circumstances which you can imagine where you will be using these ethical principles?
Sir, in policy formulation, we have to take care of those who are at the bottom of socio-economic ladder. Secondly, with regard to any kind of, when we see the public interest should always come first, then the private interest or the interest of a few individual. So these are.
So what will you avoid basically at that level, that high level? What should be the basic thing which can be avoided by using ethical theories?
We should not engage in any kind of conflict of interest or do something for personal gain.
What is ethical egoism then? There was a question in 2019 on this, ethical egoism.
So I am unable to recall.
There was direct case study on that.
So
What is egoism?
when we believe that we give importance to ourselves more than others.
Than others, right. So you think that everything good should happen and nothing bad should happen to you. That is ethical egoism. Now at the level of the secretary, when you have reached, how will it be applicable and how will it avoid you?
So we should see the collective interest should always come, should be always respected, should be always followed rather than the individual. So, and also the individual ethics should be under the collective ethics. So one should not give too much importance to self and neglect other. That would be the idea.
Very recently, you might have heard in the news, very prominently flashed everywhere, that now a human being has developed basically a live robot. Live robot is having life. What is that?
Sir, for example, people are engaged or addicted to the social media. They are not engaging with their family member or the society. So the individual are becoming like a
robot, but actual robot of a very small size. That is life. Which is that? As an engineer, you should know it. Okay, just forget about it. When you are working in the field of engineering, in the engineering field, then you might be knowing this Nobel Prize this year for medicine. Do you have any idea?
So it's an annual recollect.
You know, this is very, very important because this is a breakthrough which was, you know, under process for last 20-25 years, the remedy of cancer. Are you remembering now? What has been the invention, what has been the process they have evolved? And in America now, US, they have already started doing it.
Sorry sir, annual to recall this.
What is this filter antenna?
Those, I don't know.
Okay. Now last question from my side. What is the probity in governance?
Following the process by maintaining the honesty and integrity.
No, why should you follow all these things basically? Why probity in governance is important? Why do you specifically mention in the syllabus?
Because there are rules and laws, constitution, those ideas.
No, this is okay, but to whom do you want to show it?
Sir, it serves the public interest. It helps to use the government resources more efficiently. It helps to avoid any kind of illegal gain to any person or to himself or herself. So in that context, the probity is important in the governance.
So basically you are trying to achieve an image. So image for yourself or for the administration or the office of the collector, suppose?
Sir, for the office is always more important than the individual.
So by adopting probity in governance, you are giving a strength to the office. So people develop trust in you.
Yes.
They develop trust in the institution.
Yes, sir.
So at every level, when you reach in the service, this is very, very important.
Yes, sir.
Please.
You are appointed as SP of a district. You go there and you find that in spite of very brilliant computer engineers, very brilliant engineers, who have good technology, knowledge of technology, good commitment, good moral values, they have not improved. They are not able to improve the functioning of police stations. The same corruption, the same registers, the same poor investigation, low conviction ratio, number of complaints. People are not taking the FIRs. What you will do in such a scenario? You have seen the entire incumbency. You find the brilliant and very intelligent people have been there SP, and you go there. What you would like to do? And nothing has changed in the last 30-40 years except a better building and some more resources at the disposal of inspector. That's all.
Sir, I beg to differ on this. There have been the improvement. The improvement level may not be as per our expectation. As an individual, if I go to as a SP, there are various schemes that is being.
You have not yet joined. You start justifying after joining as SP. So tell me the areas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No. I have given you a situation.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me how you would like to improve.
Sir, there are.
Don't justify that the entire Indian police is doing that job. So there are hundreds of people who are doing it. Your job is to improve it. I have given you a situation. Now what you would like to do in that situation? How you will improve it so that people have very positive opinion about the police?
Sir, community policing would be one of my priority.
Many people are doing. It is done in all the states.
Sir, it can be done more effectively by engaging with people, by interacting with them, by.
It has not worked. Tell me some more ways. Many SPs have tried. It has failed. Rather, it created actually more brokers between the police station and the society. Tell me more methods by which you can improve it.
Sir, as of now, I can only say that
technology. I am taking you by using the technology.
Yes, sir. Online FIR. That is
how? Yeah. Come to that. How?
Sir, online FIR. If the police provide for a particular area, the people to file the complaint. with some fact figures, and then holding the police accountable, those who are at the Thana level, holding them accountable through those how many cases they are handling, where they are reaching in terms of conclusion, what are the problems.
Look, there is a Supreme Court judgment, directive,
Yes,
that within 24 hours you have to upload it,
yes, sir.
the FIR. It is already there. But in what ways you would like to force them and use the technology so that it is more transparent and it develops trust between the police and the public?
When the action,
What is the greatest power in the hands of a station house officer? What is the greatest power?
I am not aware of.
You are not aware? The whole country knows. I am police station in charge. You have come with a complaint. Please take my FIR. It is my discretion whether to register this as FIR or not. The
Yes.
greatest power.
Yes, sir.
So how you will check this? In spite of Supreme Court directive, it is not uploaded. They will say system has failed, connectivity was not there, papers
Yes.
have not come. But what way you would like to change it?
Sir, the community service center is
It
being,
has not worked. Now the technology is the only way.
yes, sir.
That is the situation.
Yes.
How you will use the technology so that the system is forced to be more transparent and more, you see, more convincing, more objective.
Sir, if people can file the cases from their home instead of coming to Thana, that giving discretion to the Thana officer, right? So then there is, when they are filed, then there will be more a kind of transparency or more kind of pressure on Thana officer to act honestly and to act with.
I am telling you, the Supreme Court directive says that you have to upload it. Not only upload it, you have to mention the latest development, that what is the level of investigation has reached up to conviction. There are already guidelines. So I just want to know what you would like to do and which works.
Yes, sir. Allowing individual to file the complaint from their home instead of coming to the Thana, right? That would be that. So that will eliminate the middle work, that the Thana have a discretion to file.
Can you ask a police station, which is the most corrupt one, that please send me daily all the complaints which you are not registering as FIR on my WhatsApp?
No, so that's why
It's very simple. And then you read it and you tell that, oh no, the complaint number 2, it has all the components of FIR. Please register it and give the copy.
yes, so that is one.
Very simple. And then at the same time, you can ask the concerned person to be updated on the investigation. These days, even people are ready to give you. There so many, you see, social media platforms available in public
sir.
domain. They are ready to cooperate. They can give you the evidence which your investigating officer is not interested in.
Yes, sir.
It is possible.
Yes, sir.
What is Panchayati Raj?
Sir, Panchayati Raj is the third tier of governance, where there is a Mukhiya, then there is second
Mukhiya.
Mukhiya at the Panchayat level.
Which level is Mukhiya?
There is a Panchayat level. The head of the Panchayat is called
Yeah.
Mukhiya. Then there is a block level Panchayat Samiti, and there is a Jila level, which is a Jila Parishad.
Yeah. What are the functions?
The function is mentioned in the schedule 11 of the Constitution, which is to take the forestation work, to land development in terms of the water resources, drainage system.
Important ones. 1, 2, 3. Most important functions of district panchayats. There are dozens of them. But first 3, 1, 2, 3, which are very, very important, common in India. That is priority of everyone.
So they do implement the government schemes with respect to
Yeah, implementation of schemes is
yes, sir, like
of course there.
Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Secondly, they also engage in the land taxation issues. For example, giving the so I'm unable to recall the exact.
What
name.
about health, education, nutrition?
Yes, sir. But
The most important.
But in my they does not take care of all these things.
What?
Sir, Mukhya does not oversee.
No, panchayat, the district
sir.
panchayat,
District punch.
That is Jilla Parishad.
Jilla Parishad.
Oh, sir, I'm not
Aware.
Yes, sir. Yes.
What have you been doing since 2016?
Sir, I've been preparing for the exam. I was not good at many of the part of the civil service preparation, so it took me time to
So you have not worked anywhere also?
yes, sir. Sir, after 2016 passing the graduation, I came to Delhi to prepare for the exam.
For preparing for exam. What is the last movie you have seen?
So, Toilet Ek Prem Katha, I remember. I often see Anand movie by Amitabh Bachchan.
No, but he's asking what is the latest movie? Not watch movies.
Yes, I watch the short movies, but 15 minutes movies.
But even then, you just tell any story, any movie which you have seen last. This is what he's asking.
Sir, Anand was the last.
Anand was 40 years back. 40 years
Sir,
back.
I regularly
When
see
I
it.
was of your age.
I regularly see it because it gives a certain kind of strength.
No, this is not.
And
in the interview board, you should never do that.
yes, sir, I should be
Yeah,
careful.
because this is basically you are trying to unnecessarily lead the board, and it becomes very obvious. This is not a correct method of doing it.
Yes, sir, I
Now
do.
I'll ask you, what is the drama or a theatre you have seen?
No, sir, I have not much.
Or any music program?
Sorry, sir, I've never.
And the next question can be, what is the Indian culture actually? How you understand the Indian culture?
Yes, sir, I can answer this question. There are various festivals that we celebrate, and that is a part of the Indian culture.
What is the latest festival in news which is organized in Ladakh? Very prominent festival. And this time it was flashing in the news because they did something unusual.
Sorry, sir.
So you will be trapped like this. So please be sure that when you are answering the questions, don't go in a direction which basically disturbs the mentality of the board.
Yes.
Right. So whenever you are talking about the movie, whether you have seen 15 minutes movie or 30 minutes movie or 50 minutes movie, truthfully you should speak that.
Yes, sir.
So if you say the toilet
Prem
Prem
Yes, sir,
Katha,
I've seen this.
I think that would have been a good one to discuss government role in this one.
Yes, sir,
Or if you said Suidaga, for example.
Uh,
Suidaga was also a movie related to this kind of rural workers.
But you should not go back that much, you know.
yes, sir.
Anand is.
That's- I understand.
Anyway, you have published a research paper.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about it.
Sir, it was finding the evolutionary relationship.
Evolutionary
Relationship among microbes in our blood.
among microbes in
our
the blood.
that is present in our blood, yeah.
Blood should not have microbes.
Microbes कैसे हो सकते हैं blood में?
So there are various virus, bacteria that forms, that are part of the blood.
Now, who says that?
Sir,
But blood should be sterile, otherwise I won't be able to.
So there are certain components.
If I have septicemia, if there is bacteria in my blood, I have septicemia.
But there are microbes which we collected this data. Actually, this was the analysis of the genome sequence.
Okay.
So we collected this data from Human Microbiome Project. So there they mentioned that this microbes. We analyzed those data. That
Was
were
it a gut or a blood?
It was a blood.
It can't be. Maybe gut, intestine, which has a lot of bacteria, and that is microbiome environment in a human. But what did you find?
So we find the evolutionary relationship because we have multiple microbes in our blood, and how they have evolved. What are
At
the
least now you should leave the word blood out of it and go home and check that.
Is there any relationship between gene and DNA?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Sir,
But then only you will be able to explain him. Otherwise, it is not looking a strong thing.
yes, sir, DNA.
Because then whether this paper was published somewhere.
Yes, sir.
That's why I'm asking.
Yes, sir. It was published in Microbial.
Now you answer that question. So that will clarify the whole situation you just answered.
Sir, the DNA gene is contained in the DNA. There are certain DNA. Actually, there is a whole big ATCG sequence, right? So some of the traits that we have in terms of gene, so they are included in that as a kind of a sort sequence in that DNA. Gene is contained in that sort sequence of the DNA, like
So-
ATCG.
So further, what is consequence to that? How RNA is produced? Then you will come to the correct answer.
The question I'm asking is, what is the interesting in that paper that I should go to library,
Yes.
find out and read about? Why I should be interested in reading? You have published it.
Yes, sir.
Why did you publish? So that people will read whatever you have found.
Yes, sir.
So what you have found that I should go and find the paper and read about?
Sir, first there is a process that we followed in terms of analyzing those data. There are tools like R we use to analyze those data. Then there is mathematics with respect to calculating their the values. When we have a big sequence,
So what you are saying is that the process you employed for
Yes, sir.
finding this
was
a new one.
no, sir, that was not new one, but as a graduate student, it was good for me.
Okay, because if it was new one, my question would have been, did you patent it or whatever you software registration?
It's a patent software.
If it was your own
Yes, sir.
discovery, then
If
you
you
would
have-
have got the patent. This
Yes, sir. No, sir, we followed the process, and we.
So anybody would have done it. I want to say.
No, sir, it required a year-long preparation because understanding those data.
Yeah, I mean, but anybody would have understood that data.
So the algorithm is what you developed or it's available?
So when we started, there was no, we didn't find anywhere.
Any algorithm. So you developed the algorithm?
We thought that this is how we should proceed.
Okay. And then you deployed that algorithm to find out this?
Yes, sir.
So then if that's a new this one, can you not register your software? What do you do for, can you get a patent for software?
Sir, for a patent is not given for the software.
So what do you do for software?
Sir, when the software is integrated with hardware, if that combination form a unique, then
Okay.
the patent is given. Otherwise, software alone, the patent is not provided under the Patent Act.
So since you have studied artificial intelligence, is there any IPR issues that the government should worry about?
Yes, sir. If
Do you follow my question?
yes, sir.
Ah.
Sir, I'm not aware about any specific, but there can be issues. For example, if certain companies develop certain function and they patent it, and they develop any kind of monopoly over those functions, then there can be problem for the consumer. And secondly, the data that is being captured, because the data capturing is important to develop the AI algorithm.
Is our government using artificial intelligence anywhere? I know China government is using.
So there is some form of project insight to check the tax evader. Is the one.
To take the
Tax evader.
tax evasion. Okay.
Yes, sir. So the project insight has been employed by the Ministry of Finance. That is the one. There is a Niti Aayog strategy on the artificial intelligence. NIC has also came up with the excellence.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, Sujit, what is SPSS?
sanitary and phytosanitary measures.
SPSS, it is a software now, tell me.
So I'm unable to recall.
It is used in this statistical analysis. What is ANOVA? ANOVA.
NO1.
Analysis of variance. Are you familiar with variance in your mathematics optional subject?
No, sir, variance is not, I'm not aware. This was not.
Is mathematics your optional subject?
Yes, sir.
So
In
tell me.
mathematics, you have not studied variance.
I've.
Well, don't tell this thing. This is not possible. When mathematics is this is the first thing, the first chapter, the preliminary chapter. When we start mathematics, it's just before that. I should say that the third, fourth, fifth step before actually we study the mathematics.
So it may be I'm unable to recall right now.
Variance.
Yes, sir, mathematics.
What is standard deviation then?
Sir, so this is the part of statistics.
But this much basic mathematics should
yes,
be
sir.
expected from.
Yes, sir. I should.
Let me ask you, this is statistics relevant to artificial intelligence?
Yes, sir.
Then this question becomes very.
Yes, sir. I will not read statistics. I will revise after today.
Tell me the difference between axiom, postulate, and theorem.
So theorem, axiom are some basic statement that is assumed to be true. For example, if there is a 2 point, if we connect it, it will be a straight line.
Then what is postulate?
So I'm unable to recall on the postulate. So
What is
theorem.
theorem?
Theorem are statements which are proved.
And then hypothesis?
Hypotheses are assumptions.
Is assumption?
Yeah, we assume something that is hypothesis.
So what is binomial?
No, yes.
So what is binomial theorem? Binomial theorem. Have you heard that term? What is probability distribution? Probability distribution.
Sir, I've just unable to recall on the statistics.
Okay, let us leave this thing. School children in Muzaffarnagar, they died.
Yeah.
Okay, in Muzaffarnagar or somewhere, they were killed because someone spiked the midday meal with pesticide. Are you familiar with this?
Yes,
news?
sir. It was in one of the district of Bihar. I am able to recall the name.
Yes, so suppose you are the collector, district magistrate. What will you do?
Sir, there must be some unannounced visit and inspection of these midday meal schemes that
What
are being
else?
implemented by the government. Secondly is the outsourcing of these activities to some accredited organization that can be also done.
But if you say accredited organizations, they will bring their own particular type of people, whereas midday meal also visualizes that some local people should be given employment, such as some widow who could cook the meal and find some job. But if you outsource it, they will find the person who is willing to work for the lowest minimum wages coming from some other state. Will it not create new set of problems?
Sir, local organization can be promoted instead of any foreign, or
What
they
else?
can be made mandatory. The panchayat can be made responsible, or can be
So
allocated
presently, are they not
responsible.
responsible for in any ways in midday meal?
Sir, they are responsible, but they don't. In my area, they don't function as effective on
Do you
that.
see technology as a solution to any of this?
Yes, sir. Technology can be the solution.
How exactly?
The food can be photographed. That is one. Or the food testing analysis can be, and their data can be directly linked or provided to the central monitoring service, maybe district magistrate or block.
What is
level.
machine learning?
Sir, machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence. In this, we actually fit data. We don't give a specific do's and sequence of algorithm to it. Instead, we fit data. It learned from the data.
So,
and
which
then,
programming language is more suitable for machine learning?
sir, on this,
Can you give me name of some programming languages other than the usual C++ and other things?
Java, Python.
Java is known to everyone. You are a student of artificial intelligence.
There.
Okay, what is AJAX? AJAX. Asynchronous JavaScript something something. So how is it different from the routine Java?
I'm not aware on this.
So that is all from my side.
So thank you very much. We shall just call you after.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sujeet, better. When your language is Maithili,
Yes.
you should have a very different perspective of life. Positive thing. I am speaking very positive thing about you, and that you have in you. You also have a very positive thing. I am speaking very positive thing about you, and that you have in you. You also have a very in-depth analysis of few things, but you require few additional conceptualization of certain things which are happening around you. Okay. Now, for example, when we are talking to you, never in any interview put, whenever some discussion is taking place, you do not have a wider smile, broader smile. Should never happen. Should never happen in the interview. So you should please try to control this while answering the questions. So what can be done for that?
More serious, maybe.
Much more serious, and then before answering the questions, you should always think twice.
Yes.
The interview board members, they will never mind that if you are delaying a bit. Yesterday there was a child who was taking more than 20-25 seconds, but the child was very good. Right? So there is no hurry in the interview board also. There is no hurry there. They give you full opportunity and full time to answer your questions. Now, another thing which we have noticed, that you have to basically know the fundamentals of your engineering degree as well as your optional.
Yes, sir.
When you are talking about artificial intelligence, then basic fundamentals, because as a common person which I understand about artificial intelligence, I teach science and technology, so there I discuss a lot about artificial intelligence. So I feel that you should have all peripheral knowledge of artificial intelligence.
Yes.
You just told that we just feed the data and computer will analyze.
Yes, sir.
How will it? This is not a correct statement, because when you are saying just feeding the data will never result into anything.
Yes, so there is software.
There has to be something,
Yes, sir.
It cannot be just you feed the data and artificial intelligence will produce some miraculous results. So that we did not stop you in between, because we wanted to know how are you speaking. But according to the board, we are just trying to suggest you that whenever you are speaking and giving statements of your area of your competence, you should be very, very careful. You should be very, very careful.
Yes.
And the Xenobot which I was talking about, that the small live one, this should be in your knowledge, because this is the latest example of artificial intelligence, Xenobot.
So you have not heard about it?
No, sir.
You should have read it in the newspapers. It was such a prominent news throughout the world. It is the first live robot.
It was in all newspapers.
Yeah, live. It's a live thing. And the greatest thing is that once it reaches to that particular point where it will be delivering medicine and something in the body, it's very, very small. So it will automatically dissipate there. And it is programmable.
Yes, sir, I have heard, now I am able to recall.
Yeah.
But
So these things you should try to gather knowledge on these things.
yes, sir.
Number one. Number two, you should gather sufficient knowledge on what is happening around you.
Yes.
Your state, because you are coming from Bihar.
Yes, sir.
So there are lot of aspects regarding caste conflicts, caste biases, and all those things. Then geographically, very different variations are existing.
Yes.
So you should have plenty of knowledge of Bihar.
Yes, sir.
Right? That will really help you a lot. Because even if I start asking you about the rivers, how are they going? How are they flowing? Is there any river which is crossing the state?
Yes, sir. Ganga.
How it is crossing? Where is the Ganga bridge? All those things have become, and why you should have sufficient knowledge of Buddhism.
Yes, sir.
Because when you are coming from Bihar, there is all probability that you are asked questions on Buddhism.
Yes, sir. I have prepared on Bihar I missed on this artificial intelligence. I have to prepare a little more. I prepared on Bihar.
So what is the central theme of Buddhism?
So there are 5 principles.
That you are not talking about the theme. There are 105 principles. I will never ask in the examination, do you narrate 105 principles to me? Do you expect that any examiner will ask you that, tell me 105 principles? What is the basic theme?
They recognize humanity as a whole instead of caste stratification.
The caste तो उस समय exist ही नहीं करती थी. उस समय तो class exist करती थी.
Yes, sir, there was class stratification, so they universalize that. Secondly, they espouse the principle of the
So you should, don't bother. The only thing is that when you are coming from that state, you should have sufficient knowledge on all these things, especially Buddhism, remember it. Because it is bound to be asked from you.
Yes.
You are coming from Bihar and you are in Muzaffarpur.
Yes, sir.
So, you are in that particular zone.
Yes, sir, Vaishali.
Yes, Vaishali and all those things. So, you have to be very clear in all these concepts.
Yes.
What is the importance of these monuments? Why are they there? What was done by Buddha in that particular area? All those things should be very, very clear. And lastly, the board is of the view that while answering the question, you should maintain a very serious posture, which is giving a pleasant expression on your face.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and wear the clothes which you like.
Yes.
Clothes. When is your interview?
March 23rd.
March. So that will be the summer time.
Yes, sir.
So you have to choose the clothes
Yes, sir.
which are very comfortable to you. There is no need of having a suit and tie at that time.
Yes.
On the other hand, you will be suffocated and you will be sitting outside. There is a hall, big hall, where they ask you to sit, and there you will be sitting for 2.5 hours or so if your number is slightly lower.
Yes, sir.
Then it will be a very difficult situation there. But for girls it is easy because they can wear the cotton sari. So you have to be very careful what you should wear at that particular
So tie is
occasion.
mandatory.
No, nothing is mandatory, just let me tell you.
Sometimes
No.
if all person wears tie, then
No.
Many people do wear, but it's not.
Yeah, it is not compulsory. Whatsoever you feel comfortable
It should
in.
be a formal dress.
Very formal.
Yes, sir.
It should be formal dress.
Like this one is fine.
That's fine.
Yes, sir.
That's very good. Never think that who has told you that it is compulsory mandatory.
Sir, I read on Quora that there was a person who didn't wear this and all was wearing, so he was looking little odd.
कुछ नहीं. I will just tell you, when I went for interview, I was wearing one white shirt and one white trousers, and उस पे मैंने नील दिया था. नील जानते हो आप क्या होता है?
Yes.
उसके निशान रह गए थे बाकी उसके ऊपर.
Yes.
With that set of clothes, I entered into the hall.
Yes, so I will take care of that.
So the point is that that is not that important. You should give a formal appearance.
Yes, sir.
That you are giving importance to that occasion.
Yes, sir.
So you are not taking it lightly and just.
Yes, sir.
And
Okay.
read your own paper. If your own paper you are not clear, your research paper.
अभी मैंने पढ़ा उसके बारे में अभी मैंने इसमें जब आप बात कर रहे थे, and then I saw all that thing. So the basic question it has been raised here, that whether it is a fiction or truth.
Yes, sir. So it's a truth. You can search.
No,
on-
I'm not saying that.
No,
But this was the basic question which was raised there. We are not defying what you are saying,
Yes.
but there is still some area of doubts. Some area of doubts. I don't know because my knowledge on this subject is zero.
Yes. So I have little problem because this is a technical and there was more of technical kind instead of biological kind. So on biological aspect, I will have to cover. I don't know how to cover this
At least
aspect.
your paper, your research paper, you have to understand methodology, what they have done, how they have done,
Yes, sir.
what does it mean, etc., etc.
Yes, sir, what I have told, that is my understanding, that there is a phylogenetic tree that has been drawn through analyzing those microbes data, right?
But you said father and son and all.
Yes,
That's
sir.
not phylogeny. That is a family tree.
Yeah.
Phylogeny is an evolutionary process,
Yes,
which is thousands of years and all those that timeline.
yes, sir. So I just gave an example.
No, you should
but
not.
Father
Yes,
and
sir.
son is not.
Yes, sir.
is
Yeah.
Yes,
not-
So in
Understand.
interview you should remember Because there will be some member who will be understanding all these things.
Yes.
And even if we don't understand, when we start probing, these things will come very clearly.
And blood doesn't have any bacteria. It should not have.
It should not have. Because this is supposed to be totally neutral.
Okay, I will have to again go to data because I have to look at the what they say,
look
because
at it.
microbes is defined in that.
Because whenever there is a bacteria there, then there is an infection.
You are
and
diseased.
yeah, you are diseased.
Yes, sir, on
Your
biology.
urine, blood, milk, which is part of the
On
body,
bi-
has to be sterile.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. On biological aspect, I do think that I need to work on that. So how?
At least what is pertaining to your research, that you must be absolutely clear. If you are not, then ask somebody, but at least be very clear.
I have little doubt if I can get some help on that. That would be good because that was technical, and I find it.
So you confirm it from your teacher, no, whosoever was your guide.
So I understand the project. This is. I understand the project. That there is
because you have given it a mathematical picture. So mathematical picture you might be right, but biological aspect, if it is not matching with the mathematical thing, then it is something which is creating confusion. That is the only thing. Otherwise you might be right.
Where?
Sir, there is a Science Direct was a publisher, and the publishing name was Microbiology and Phylogenetic. There was
No. Which was the magazine or publication?
Yes, and Human Microbiology and Phylogenetic. There was some name. I am just unable to recall
That's
right
the
now.
title of your paper.
No, sir, that is not title.
Journal.
Yes, the journal name
Okay,
is
then
this.
people will ask you what's the impact factor of that journal,
Yes, sir, I need
H
to.
index, blah blah blah. There are a lot of questions which come.
Credibility about the journal.
Yes, sir, the credibility.
Citation.
Yes, citation.
कितने citation हुए उसके अब तक हुए कुछ?
So there were 89 views.
Have you the citation? Citation जानते हो ना?
Yes, sir. How many people are using that research as a basis?
Yes.
I think there was 4 or 5 people.
That's not bad.
हाँ,
If
4-5 तो बहुत अच्छा है भाई. 4-5 is a very good number.
कोई तो पढ़ रहा है और
Use कर रहा है, हाँ. This is good. So any question from your side?
Sir, one was this, that how to go about this general aspect in the project, because I am finding little difficult to explain in the sense that how it can be explained in a very easy manner to the board, and what kind of question can be asked on the project, because project part I have not been able to do it in a much the manner.
The only thing you have to do is just get into the biological aspect of the
Yes,
project.
sir.
Only that.
Yes,
Because
sir.
board will be interested in knowing that. They are not interested in knowing the analysis and the mathematical application to this and that.
Yes, sir.
So only biological aspect. You just prepare for that.
Yes, sir.
Any other question?
No, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So all the very, very best and be successful. Come with flying colors and take your name ahead. Touch the
Thank you,
sky.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.